Big Bill Anderson, Ricky Ataki right there. We are here on the 20th anniversary of our dear friend Louie Spicolli, better known to the world as Louie Spicolli. What a kid. He was only 27 when he passed. He'd be 47 now. It's hard to even believe. It's been 20 years. But Louie, here's some flowers for you, my friend. And we have come all the way across the country here, at least me, all the way from Phoenix to be here for your 20th anniversary of your passing at much too young of an age. You were my student. You were, without a doubt, one of my best friends. I count you closer than a brother or any family member I probably have ever had besides my son Audie. We shared everything, brother. We shared a career. I put my whole trust into you, Louie. At 18, 17 years old, you had your first match in a WWF ring in Minnesota against Outlaw Ron Bass the first night, and then Greg Valentine the second night. I staked my reputation how good you would do, and you did not let me down, and you did not let anybody ever down. You always busted your butt in everything you did. You had a love for wrestling like nobody I've ever known, and even though I had more experience than you, there wasn't a match we teamed up that I didn't have to ask you for advice in the match and ask your opinion on how we should do something, because I knew you were more studious than I, and your memory was far better than mine, especially wrestling in Mexico. Those 2 out of 3 fall matches were brutal in a boxing ring. But Louie, myself, and Ricky here, we love you, my friend, and we just wanted to let you know you are never forgotten. We lost another friend April 6, 2004, Stephen De Leon. He was one of our the four of us traveled many a road together. Stephen was killed in a motorcycle accident on the 405 freeway here in Los Angeles, and we miss him also. He is buried at Forest Lawn Glendale Cemetery. And Louie, you are here in Rancho Palos Verdes. Yokozuna is buried just over that hill right there on down, which I'm going to visit his grave here in a short while. I've been there before, Yoko. And but Louie, you're a big part of the book I'm writing, the stories of our road travels. Many I'm embarrassed to even write about, the things we did, the messes we got ourselves into, and the laughter and the tears we shared. The day we almost died on the way to Graceland to see Elvis's house when you fell asleep at the wheel of your Chevy Blazer and I was in the passenger seat, and the next thing I know I hear gravel underneath us at 4 a.m. hitting the bottom of your car, and 18-wheeler trucks blowing their horn to wake you up because you had totally fallen asleep. We ended up about 30 feet off the highway. We almost died on the way to Graceland, but we survived it. And you were just a hell of a guy, and I don't know, you know, I just, when you passed, I don't know, I think between you and Stephen, both of you guys took a piece of me, no doubt, because when you travel with the guys and you train guys and you hit the road for weeks at a time, and Louie, you and I were in Mexico, Canada, Japan, halfway across the United States together. We've been through a lot, and I just wanted to pay my respect to you, Louie, and your dear mother, who I met She lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She passed away from cancer. Very nice lady. And Louis, I love you, my friend. And I think I'll just close this out. And Lauren, do you want to say a few words? Ricky Ataki.
When he said Blazer S10, just reminded me what Louis said. I drive a Blazer S10. I'm a man amongst men, and if you didn't hear me, then I'll say it again.
Louis was a good kid, one of the most faithful and loyal students I've ever had, besides this man standing right here with me, Ricky Ataki. Guys like you are hard to beat, and it was because of guys like you is why I had to retire from training, because I just couldn't find students with the same loyalty anymore as Louis Mucciolo Jr., aka Louie Spicolli, or a Ricky Ataki, or a Stefan De Leon.
Three Marx brothers.
The three Marx brothers, Stefan, Ricky, and Louis. Wow, what road travels. So my friends, this is Big Bill Anderson's Death Tours on one of the saddest graves I could ever come to. I have been to 1,000 graves, from Dean Martin, Marilyn Monroe, to John Wayne, and about everybody in between. Gangsters, athletes, you name it, I've been there. But this is one of the two of the saddest that hit me the most personal. Louie Spicolli, I know you're resting in peace, my friend. I don't think it was completely by accident you died the day after Valentine's Day. You had a broken heart. You loved your childhood sweetheart, your high school sweetheart. You guys were not together any longer, and I know you had a broken heart, my friend. I saw you 10 days before you died. Went to your grandma's house and we sat, talked for a long time. An irony of all ironies, that night, I'll never forget it, I will take it to my grave, you held up an Enquirer magazine with Chris Farley's picture on it, who had just passed away in December. And I was with you in January, the end of January of 1998. You held up a picture of Chris Farley and says, "Hey Bill, does this guy look familiar?" And it was on there, the headlines, that Chris Farley had passed away in Chicago. So, you know, Louis, you are missed. You will be missed by many of your friends. John and David Hanna, George Rojas, all those guys traveled the roads together. Thor von Slomsky, all you guys know who you are. We traveled the road together. But I asked Ricky Ataki to be here today because I knew Ricky all too well, knew how much Louis meant to him and to me. And we are here to pay our respect on Big Bill Anderson's Death Tours to Louie Spicolli. So my friends, Big Bill Anderson, with a tear in my eye, my friends, I say adios and thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And I do it for memories of a man like Louie Spicolli and Stefan De Leon and my dear friends. Thank you, everyone. Adios.